Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Got another double header for you. Object 261 and it's Bassman from Hell, North Spawn, Malinovka. Let's see how he gets on in this pair of battles. 26 seconds is the reload time. It's an 18cm howitzer, not your standard caliber. Does 900 alpha, penetrating 45mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 10 meters. And you can see he's actually taking it to the other side of the inlet, which is not the usual firing position, but oh, knocked that tree down. Hopefully the enemy didn't spot that. I doubt if they did anyway. They're normally not interested in counter battery right at the start of a battle. Rounds out on that target. It was a T-57 heavy. Oh, it looks like the GWE-100 has also decided to come over this side. Well, Bassman's relocating and reloading. Now, in the last pair of battles he didn't fare so well. In fact, he lost both of them, but he did put up a really good performance and he got a Confederate medal in each of them. You can see an enemy light tank has actually made it into the dip already, and his shot on the batch at 25 ton overshot, went to the right, went long. There's no way he can get a shot on the T100 LT, but he doesn't need to worry now because actually he got taken out by our T100 LT and while he was distracted with our Object 430U, who's going alongside the lake and unfortunately met his end at the hands of the Badger. Okay, so Bassman's going for that batch at 25 ton again, firing blind. There are some targets making their way up onto the hill, so he'll probably have a go at them now. Tier 10 game, so he's top tier, but that also means that he's not going to get a huge amount of XP for hitting higher tier opponents. Well, he can't anyway because he's a tier 10 Arty. Okay, going for the M48 pattern. Rounds out. He tried to time that shot so it would actually go between the two vehicles and damage both of them, but it actually veered to the right, hit the Object 140, which I suppose is a happy accident, serendipitous. But unfortunately the enemy seems to have captured the lower part of the hill, which makes it easier for them to stop our guys going up onto the top of the hill. So he's going to have to work hard, but if he's got premium rounds, and he has, and he's loaded one, he can actually do damage to all of them. And he's stunning them as well as hitting them. Yeah, that 5A just took a big hit. He's picking up stun assist. In fact, 4 tanks have managed to join up now. So when he fires a round in, he's going to be splashing 3 at a time. Or 4 at a time. Almost loaded. Here we go. Rounds out. Oh, what happened there? I don't know what it was happening there, but yes, he did hit a lot of them all at the same time. Did damage to the 5A, the Object 140 and the Centurion Action 10. I think he must have had just pressed the trigger at the wrong time and flipped between views on Battle Assistant, and that's why it did it. And that was a blind hit. I think it was on the nearest tank, which was the Object 140. But I'm pretty sure that he probably damaged some of the others as well. Okay, we've lost sight of them because, well, a few of our tanks that were up the hill have been wiped out, but the the 60 TP is still there, and the Object 140's done my favourite trick of diving down the cliff to get out of the way quickly so that you can avoid any heavy that's defending. But unfortunately he tracked himself at the bottom, which meant that obviously he was susceptible and he took some damage. It actually helps if you slow your descent, or at least not slow your descent, but use it as almost as a racetrack and try and smooth your landing. So if you try to go directly down, you could come a cropper, and then this will happen. Yeah, get wiped out by a splash kill. The best thing to do is, just as I said, to go down gently. This guy, I think, is doing it correctly. Yes, he did. There, you see, that's how it's supposed to be done. Just keep moving, because you pick a smooth spot to actually move out and flatten the curve, so to speak. Okay, the M48 pattern's still a splash kill though. Only 125 hit points. He's loaded. Rounds out. Oh yes! And he got a direct hit on that one. It didn't look as if it was a direct hit, but it was. and he's out the game as well. So that's 2 kills now for Bassman. He's already racked up 1700 hit points of damage. In fact, we know it's more because he got a blind hit on the Object 140. And it looks like the enemy attack over the hill, well, I wouldn't say it's blunted as such, it's just they're reluctant to actually come down now because they're very low on hit points. We've got a 5A with only 55 hit points, and he's now out the game. That's another kill for Bassman. And I think he's now thinking about moving because the enemy T-57 Heavy, or rather another one of them, is actually in a position to damage him. No, he's been taken out, thank goodness. I thought for a second he thought he was going to get assaulted, but the Death Star was watching and he took out the opponent. Okay, Badger on the plane, actually, on the field, and that was a direct hit there. So again, he's going to have more damage showing at the end than he's actually showing at the moment because he has had blind hits. Now there's still a Type 5 Heavy up on the hill. It was seen at that roundabouts that area, but we need a sighting before we fire. Superconk's turned up and he's fairly low on hit points as well. He's not a one-shot. Oh, it went long again. Wargaming playing with this high dispersion for Arty. It's saying the shell went to the edge of the reticule and landed a long distance away without doing any damage to that Superconk whatsoever. So we don't believe this, and it's ridiculous that Wargaming keeps doing this. Obviously they put a fiddle factor in to always make the shell go to the edge of the reticule. Okay, there's a Jaegeru just the other side, lakeside. Unfortunately, he just wiped out our Progetto. We get a shot on him. Difficult. No. He was teasing that line over the target, but he didn't get a good shot. Now, you're going to see another thing that's about the Object 261, which obviously a lot of us are not particularly happy about. It's the shell loadout. You don't get that many shells on 261, only 20, which really isn't enough to last an entire battle, and as a consequence you could run out of ammo during a game. Splash for 147 there. I mean, it is a serious problem considering some of the other RTs, such as say the I would say which one actually that you might actually have problems with. I would say the 212A. It's got 30 rounds compared to the number of rounds you actually have on other RT. It's quite generous with those 203mm rounds. But with the Object 261 you just simply don't get enough ammo. And the same is true for the GW Panther and the M12. The M12 only has 20 rounds. GW Panther has a lot more. Okay, he's having to line it up on the Superconk, trying to work out where he's going. He's loaded. He's going right to the edge of the map. Oh, he's moving fast, but that was a beautifully timed shot. Hit the rear of the Superconk for 258. He's only got 3 rounds of ammo left. 1 premium round, 2 standard. It does look like he's going to run out of ammo. At which point, obviously, the Object 261 either becomes a spotter or a capper, because that's all you can do under those circumstances. But we do have tanks near the cap right now. My instinct would be to actually get much closer to the cap, but Bassman wants to get some more damage. So, oh, I saw a tracer there from enemy Arty, and in fact, yes, there's the enemy Arty. He just takes out the Type 5 with a beautiful shot, but now he's going to have to wait until he's loaded. 1 more round of standard, 1 premium to get the GW E100 on the enemy team. There's still 2 Arties out there, 1 heavy, 1 tank destroyer. Okay, he's loaded. but no target to shoot at, so he's not going to take any blind shots because of course he needs that ammo to do damage. There's the Jaeger. Now this time round he probably can get this shot into target, but he needs to fully dial in on target before he shoots. Rounds out. Better! Much better. 353 hit points, nice bit of damage. No, he's decided to retreat. Actually, he's taking quite a lot of damage from the Object 140. Yes, he's now one shot. Bassman's loaded, but he can't see the target. He's blind shot fired in. Oh, but he gets the splash kill with the premium round. And now he is out of ammo. There's still 3 enemies out there. And all he can do now is cap. Question is, though, does he go and cap? Because there's still 2 Artys out there and 1 heavy. And if he does cap, chances are he might get shot at, but I suppose it's worth it. GWE 100 is headed for the cap. We can see the Super Conk is actually right up on top of the map. He's right on top of the hill. God knows why he's done that. GWE 100 is still firing at him, and I don't know who actually spotted him all the way up there. I think one of our teammates did spot him just before he got wiped out. The Object 140 is going in to kill the GW. He just got stunned by him. Or maybe that was the other RT, the Conqueror gun carriage. But you can see they're over there. There's the GW. Bassman's headed for the cap. And there goes the GWE 100. So now it's just the Conqueror gun carriage. And my advice under these circumstances is stay away from those bushes. Because that's what they're going to aim for, thinking that somebody is behind them. Invariably in battles I do that. I fire at the bush, the most obvious place that somebody would try and hide from the enemy. And in circumstances like this where the enemy's far enough away that they won't see you, just cap in the open. They had a battle last night and the GW's decided he's going to park next to the bushes. Yeah, look what happened to him. He got hit, got stunned, got splashed. Just goes to show, I was absolutely right. Stay away from any visible object. Well, the GWE 100 has suddenly learned the reason why you don't. And the Super Conk gets killed. And that means there's only one left. It's the Conqueror gun carriage who's now taking blind shots at the cap. But they're about to cap out, and I think it's all over. Bar the shouting, the Object 140 dies to the Conqueror gun carriage, but it is all over now. So let's have a look at the second battle on this video. And here is the second replay, and this time we're on Prokhorovka. Same Object 261, same Bassman from Hell. Okay, game on. Well, looks like he's headed off to the west side, which I think a lot of arties are tending to do, because if they go to the railway line and hide in the bushes there, well, they normally get trounced by any tank that's coming down from the centre line, down the tree line, or ones that come over the hill, which they can't stop. Plus, from this position, you can actually get better shots onto the hill. It's a very narrow angle if you're shooting up the railway line towards the targets. Okay, he's taken up position behind the bush, and he's got some targets to shoot at straight away. One of them's an T95 FV4001, the Chieftain, and the other one's an E50M, but there's one of our most hated opponents, and he's dying quickly, yes, which Bassman kind of likes doing actually himself. He's addicted to wiping out those things. But he didn't get the kill on that one, the Gorilla 15 did instead. So maybe the Gorilla 15 doesn't like EBRs either. Well, certainly not the enemy ones anyway. Okay, he's looking in the same general area where the enemy was. Oh, that TVP sniper came back to his position. He got tracked. And, well, he was stunned. And there's another one behind him, actually. In fact, it's a Batchat 155-58 using that position for Arty. Because there is a little dip there, and it's forward of the normal positions, but he did get spotted. And that was kind of bad news for him. I think it was the T100LT that spotted him, actually. Okay, so we're aiming in the general area where they were last seen. But, well, no, Bassman tried to go for the Object 277, expediting what he could see. But, unfortunately, we're not getting any spots. Ah, now we are, and that's an E4. Okay, hopefully the T100 has not been spotted, but 348 hit points of spotting assist for him. And we're getting some stun assist. The enemy Batchat's come into view. A very odd thing to do. He's actually almost playing it like a spotter now. Yeah, that Batchat's not going to last very long. Not if he does things like that. Totally daft thing to do. Bassman lines him up, rounds out, and yeah, he's out the game. Well, you know, after you work all that hard time trying to earn the Batchat 155-58, and when you don't know how to play it, it's kind of sad. So he probably wanted to end his game early, and he thought that if he went up to the centre line, then that would be a quick way to dispose of yourself. It might have been easier, actually, just to drive into enemy territory. I think you'd die very much quicker that way. Object 277, direct hit 287. Okay, he's changing position straight away. You notice how Bassman can still fire, watch the enemy, and relocate all at the same time. Yep, you don't have to stay in the bush. He's moving up at this moment, and it looks like the enemy are coming down the other side of the railway line at the moment. And he's decided to stop here and take another shot at that 277. No, this time he didn't have enough time to line it up. He's telling that guy to relocate quickly, fall back from that position. He's far too far forward. And the enemy, it looks like they're about to cross the railway line. It just backs up what I said earlier in the game. You don't want to go and position yourself next to the railway line. It's old school. It's the old meta, but it doesn't work. If you're too close to the railway line, you're likely to get taken out by the enemy tanks. And I think that T92, if he stays where he is, he's going to get in trouble. But that's a nice hit there on the 705. Oh, lots of stun assist. Looks like 279E has taken out most of the enemy up the other end. And now we're looking back at our own cap area from, well, halfway up the battlefield. Almost loaded. Going to put a round into the supercar. It looked like it was a little early, but I think he probably would have got some splash. That Object 277 is still a worry, but yeah, that guy needs to move. Yeah, he used his Shift F4 to say, get the hell out of there. I know it was in Russian. I do that myself. So just today I was in a battle where I signaled to my two teammates, get the hell out of there. I was looking at my minimap and I could see that a Barask was about to invade our cap area, and we had two Artys sitting alongside each other, and plus me was a little further away, but I could see what was happening. I told them to get the block out of there, and they didn't, and they got killed very quickly when the Barask arrived. One shot each, and they were dead. Whereas I managed to relocate and carried on fighting. Oh, he set that one alight! Killed the TVP T5051. But we've got an E50M crossing the railway line, and what have we got else? Well, it looks like he's going to go for the AMX M454. Lining it up, almost ready to shoot. He's going to go behind the railway wagon. Oh, but he still got him! 387, good shot. Ones like that where you're so close to something else like a railway carriage or whatever, always give him the heebie-jeebies, because I always think he's going to move too close, I'm going to fire, and Wargaming is going to send the shell just to the right or just to the left and hit the thing that I didn't want to hit instead. It's going to go for another one. Rounds out. Yes! And that one looked like it hit the turret. Well, that E50M didn't cross the railway line, but our TVP did, and I think that E50M is now regretting his decision. Unfortunately, our TVP got set alight, and I rather think he's probably going to be taken out by the E50 if he's not careful. Okay, this is a difficult shot. Oh, another one! Peach for a shot, that one. 351. Well, TVP's crawled back over the railway line to deal with the E50M. I think he had to cross the railway line because he or had to come back because he was reloading. And of course, it's a long reload on the TVP T5051. But you do get 5 shots at the end of it. Lines up a shot for the STB. Blind shot. Fell short. Well, certainly a new firing location, cruising up and down the west side of the map on the 1 line, or as they call, clean up on aisle 1. Yes, can't get a shot in the E50 at this moment. The wagons are in the way. It'd be a miracle if you managed to bend it over there. The flat trajectory of the Object 261 makes it very difficult. I think also he's going to have difficulty with the M454 now as well. And our Badger just got beaten up by him. However, I think our Gorilla, yeah, the Gorilla just finished him off. It was Noobs, the IS-7 actually finished him off. And the Gorilla killed the STB-1 instead. Okay, so we're looking now for one last target. The enemy Gorilla. He sort of like guessed that he might be in that tree the way it's knocked down. It might be the other tree actually. Oh, no, it's not. It's over here. Well, it was very sneaky Gorilla. But he got spotted from a different angle. And I think it was the TVP or... No, it couldn't have been the TVP. It must have been the other Gorilla who saw him. Our Gorilla. Lining up for a shot. Can he get it in? Bit late, but he's already dead. TVP T5051 got him. And that is the end of the game. So another good game. A lot of damage. 3138 showing. But I think he's probably got some more than that. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for the first battle first. And then this battle. Well, in the first battle, he got an ace tanker. Yes, and much better than the previous 2 battles you saw on the other video. Ace tanker on this one. He's had an ace before. He had the ace on Hinterland. And now he's getting aces on a much better basis. Much more regular basis. He's getting much more accurate with this gun as well. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17. And a Gauze medal for getting 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle in damage. And his win rate was 5398, which is quite high. So that's Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, funnily enough, he didn't get the highest damage on the overall in the game. That actually went to the Super Conk with 4,858 hit points, but there's no high caliber showing. So he must have been a naughty boy and possibly damaged one of his own teammates during that game, and that's why he was disqualified. But Bassman managed to get 4,310 hit points, which put him 3rd behind the Conqueror gun carriage on the enemy team, who got a Gauze medal. Was he the yes, he was the only one that survived the game because they're capped out, wasn't they? That was the one who was still hiding in the woods and killed our last teammate, the Object 140, right at the end of the game, just before we capped out. 4,471 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, though, it was Bassman again with 5 kills in the Object 261. Remember, in this battle, he ran out of ammunition. He actually ran out of ammo, and all he could do was cap at the end. 4 kills went to the Super Conqueror, and 3 kills went to our Object 140, who was searching for the last enemies but couldn't find that Conqueror gun carriage. But obviously he could see the 140 after he killed off our last Arty, the GW E100. When it came to base XP, it was, yes, Bassman with 1100 XP. 880 went to the T100 LT, who also picked up a Patrol GT and Scout, and 854 went to the Object 140 as some sort of consolation for doing all that work at the end of the game. The Conqueror gun carriage and the GW E100 both shared Confederates at the end of the game as well. Bassman fired 20 rounds, all 20 rounds of ammunition in his arsenal. his arsenal, his magazine, that's the correct term. 9 direct hits, no penetrations, 24 splash, damage of 4,301 and 10 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 10 of the enemy, killed 5, and did 1,658 hit points of stun assist off 19 stuns, and he got 66 capture points in the cap. On a premium account, he earned 65,459 credits, got 50,000 credits completing the first mission of the day, I think that was, and his total 115,459 after ammunition respawn. Remember, he did fire some premium rounds. He still made a profit, 49,759 credits, but you can see if you deduct off the mission bonus, he actually would have made a small loss for that game, only a small loss, not much. 241 hit points, though, it's nothing really. Anyway, hit points, credits. He also got 7 bonds because this was a tier 10 game, and he also earned 3,300 experience points for the entire game, only a ×2 on this one, but he did get a mission completion on that one as well, 1,000 base, 1,000 of free XP, so that's not bad. So that was the first game, Ace Tanker. What do you think the second game's going to be? It wasn't an Ace Tanker. Although it was still a very good game. He got a first class in this one. He got an arsonist because he set light to one of the enemy and watched them burn. In fact, was that the TVP T5051? No, it was actually the Batchat 15558 apparently. That was the one that burned. That's the one that got the arsonist, although it was a very brief burn because it must have been very, very quickly. But yes, this one is... Was that showing that one there? Oh no, that was the one that destroyed by fire. The TVP T5051 was destroyed by fire. My apologies. That one was destroyed by a shot. Get it right. Okay, he managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. And he got a Confederate in this one for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. His win rate from this one was slightly less than the previous one, 4,871. And compared to the previous one was 5,398. And if we look at the team score, we can see that this time round he did get the highest damage in the game, but no high caliber. Just 4,301 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the Gorilla 15 with 3,263, followed by the FB4201 on the enemy team with 3,030. When it came to kills, it was the Object 279E who got 3 kills, and then Bassman managed to get the joint second place with 2 kills with the Gorilla 15, the TVP, and the E50M on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, though, it was the T100LT who did the best with 1,086 base experience points, and the reason for that was a huge amount of spotting, 8,203 hit points of spotting. That's why the camo on this tank is so good. You can literally sit in sight of the enemy, they don't even know you're there, and you spot for your team and allow them to get all the damage, especially if you've got that commander's vision system, which decreases the camouflage effect of bushes, which means basically it makes them transparent and you can just sit there watching the enemy and there's nothing they can do as your team tears them a new a-hole. Anyway, that's apart. 4,301 hit points, 2 kills, and 930 XP for Bassman, followed by the IS-7 getting 779. He also got a steel wall out of that game. He fired 16 rounds in this game, so he had 4 rounds spare at the end, 9 direct hits, 1 penetration, 12 splash, damage of 4,301 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 2, did 3,048 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. He earned a little less than the previous battle, but then he didn't get a bonus in this one. 75,905 credits, but after ammunition resupply, and there was some premium rounds in this one, 39,005 credits left over. So he did make a profit, less premium rounds. 7 bonds from the battle, and 6,975 experience points altogether in the game. So 2 great games. First one, an Ace Tanker. Second one, we've got the first one, we get the Ace Tanker. Second one, we get the first class. Obviously, there was less damage, less win rate on this one, so that's why it's only a first class. Less XP earned, but less stun assist as well, because obviously in this one, stun assist was only 3,048, and in the other one it was 1658, but obviously he did do, was it more damage, or was he hitting, they were both tier 10 games, so I have to assume if that was let's have a look, 4-3, no, the damage was about the same. It was just the stun assist that made the difference. So yes, but one an ace, one at the first class. It must have been just a slight difference, and he probably got an ace on this one, would have had an ace on the other one if he'd done a bit more damage, but he still had good games either way. So 2 victories on this one, not a bad game overall. Hope you enjoyed this double header. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.